Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Greg. These are the games today. Today we're talking about something a little bit different. We are talking about Humble Bundle. This is a service that offers both monthly subscriptions and also bundles of games, all from your Steam library. They offer various different games at various different discounts. It all goes straight to your Steam library, as I said. And what's great about them is a portion of their sales all go towards charities such as Child's Play, Games Aid and Red Cross. What we're going to be looking at is a monthly video of their monthly subscription, which is about £12, and you get a variety of games. So we're going to start looking at them. Number one is Dirt Rally, which is on the screen now. I did try to record some of it, and it wouldn't have it. I did play some of it, and it was good fun. It comes out of Codemasters, who made all the Colin McRae Rally games, and this is the next one in the series, basically. As you can see, it looks kind of great. It's a bit more for hardcore racers, though, I must admit. It is hard, and yeah, I'm not very good at driving games as it is, and this just kind of pushed me over the edge a little bit. But you know, if you enjoy that sort of thing, if you enjoy challenging racing with someone screaming in your ear with what seems like algebra, then this is definitely the game for you. So check it out. Colin McRae. Well, it's not called Colin McRae, but it's Dirt Rally, basically Colin McRae. Next up, we have Inside, from the same creators as Limbo. Very same feel to the game. Sort of I say a 2D side scroller, but it's not really. It's a side scrolling game, and again, you're a little boy. There's no story. There's no backlog of story. There's nothing to tell you what's going on. So you've kind of got to try and figure it out. It's got a very dark, tense atmosphere. And basically you're a little boy who's being hunted by what I assume is some sort of secret underground organisation. Again, not a lot of it is explained, but it does look really good. I did play it for sort of 20 minutes just to get a little bit of footage, and it kind of compels you to keep playing. So if you do enjoy those sort of games where it's very simplistic, but looks like it could be quite deep in story, then definitely check it out. I mean, you can see here getting chased by sort of possibly police, possibly agents, possibly scientists. You just don't know, but it's just so good. And I kind of failed a few times. It's not just run away from everything, you know, just keep running faster and you'll win. It does make you think sometimes. There are little challenges you've got to overcome. And generally, yeah, go check it out. It's a great game. Next up, we have This Is the Police. This is actually one of my favourite ones on this list. I started playing it just for a bit of research, and I got really sucked into it. Adventure strategy game. It's very, very similar to SimCity, but it's got backstory, and you play as an actual character in the city. You play as the chief of police, Jack Boyd, and you're playing his last 180 days before he retires, and you've got to mess around with the story of a corrupt mayor, mafia trying to run the town, underground diggings. You want to try and make enough money to survive after your retirement by doing backhand things, or also doing the right thing as well. So it's got that sort of adventure storyline side, but then it brings in the strategy game by you have to control your police force. You control the hiring, the firing. You have to respond to different calls. You assign officers to different calls. You've got SWAT teams. There's upgrades that you can give to your officers. Some of them better than others. Others have specialities, but they all have a backstory to them. They all have a reason why they're better than the other ones, or why they're not as good at some things than others. It really drags you in, and I was amazed how quickly I got hooked on it. Sort of you go through the first couple of minutes of story, and then you're just gone. You've got this, like you can see, this sort of map idea where you can see your police cars going around and the cooldown, because once you send out a police officer, you can't use him again until he comes up to the station. But then once he's done a day's work, he won't be as effective the next day because he's just done a day's work. There seems to be quite a good amount of strategy to it, and also not overcomplicating it, which is good. Yeah, definitely my favourite game on this list by a good mile, so I would recommend checking it out. Again, Humble Bundle, or check it out on Steam or something. I'm half tempted to just do a couple of videos on this because it looks great. Next up, Undertale. Now, this game got a lot of praise when it came out. It's not old, it's not new, it's sort of quite recent, It sort of completely flew under my radar, and I started playing it, and again, it took about 10 minutes, but then I was kind of having to stop myself from playing to sort of grab the footage and put it into this video. It's quite surreal. It's an RPG-esque game, but it's got kind of elements of sort of a weird platformer as well. It's got a very sort of dark humour as well, it looks like. Like this scene with this flower. He's like, oh, I'm going to give you health. It's like, no, I'm joking, I'm going to kill you. It's all a bit strange. And you've got this weird Moomin character, Toriel, who, there she is. And it's got Pokemon battle elements. It's got puzzle solving bits. It looks like it looks like there's an RPG element because you get gold and experience. But again, there's no very little backstory to it. You're a young person who, there was a legend in the mountain that there was a hole in the mountain, so you go to check it out. You fall inside, and you end up in this place. And I don't know how it ends. I don't really know how it began. But I definitely don't know the middle either. So if you want sort of a very relaxed RPG, you don't want to get involved in a Fallout or something like that, a Final Fantasy or something like that, it might be best off sort of getting in here and see what you think, because it's a bit different, but it might also be for the more casual audience. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out. It was surprisingly got me hooked, and I don't usually get hooked on these sort of things, so it was a good surprise. Next up, we have Super Rude Bear Resurrection. Now, when I first read the description to this game, I was like, this could be the game for me, because when you die, it helps you. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm great at dying in video games. It's one of my specialities in video games, dying and being rubbish. But in this one, it's again a platforming game. It's sort of Super Meat Boy-esque meets sort of East London, with a very sort of urban soundtrack, with that sort of you're going to die a lot, so kind of get over it and expect to die a lot sort of vibe to it. So when you die, obviously your body then stays there and it becomes a platform. So if you die on a set of spikes, you can then use your body to jump back on your dead body, and you'll kind of clear the spikes easily because you can't get spiked by them anymore. You also have this weird little wizard with you, who kind of helps you out, kind of can clear up the mess, can go on his own little paths every now and again. It could be good. It didn't run too well on my PC. As you can see in the footage, it kept sort of skipping and sort of lagging behind a bit, which made it quite hard to play because the controls are a bit slippery. They're not sort of very tight when you hit right and tight when you hit left. It sort of slides a little bit. I'm not blaming that for the amount of times I died. But it could be good. If it ran more smoothly, I would enjoy playing it more. I'm not sure if it's my computer or if it's something to do with the game, if it needs a patch or something. It's probably my computer. I probably haven't set it up correctly. But you can see here where you've got the spikes, and I already used my dead body to climb over the spikes. It's an interesting concept. If it's used more, if it's later in the game, you enjoy it and you can do better things with it, then fantastic. I might come and revisit it, but for now, I probably need to work out the setup first. Next up, Goner. Now, it's described on Steam and on their official website as a tough as hell procedurally generated 2D platformer, and I would agree with that. Again, a game with very little backstory, and by very little I mean none. You're a little blob and you've got a whale, and apparently you've got to try and cheer up your best friend, who is a land-bound whale, by collecting these little relic-y things. Don't know why. I don't know how it works. Don't ask me to explain, because I genuinely don't know. But the fact that it's a 2D procedurally generated game makes it more interesting. It makes it that every time you play it is different, that there's a new challenge every time you play, and everyone's experience is different, which is good to see. It's a very easy concept, and also makes it extremely hard if you get stuck, because there's no guides or nothing like that, which would be a problem for me, because I would die a lot and I would probably get stuck a lot. But according to some other Steam reviewers, there is a story, but this game is just trippy. It's trippy, like it's a hardcore acid trip. It really is. I didn't have a clue what was going on. I was getting eaten by those long snake things. There were red little devils running around. You can visit death. It was strange because there was a tree and there was bones everywhere and there's this sort of Santa looking dude. It was confusing, but again, if you like your sort of Super Meat Boys and those sort of 2D platformers that, you know, give you that extra challenge and really try and push you to your wit's end, then go for it. But I'd get so irritated and so frustrated with this game, not because it's a bad game, just because I'm bad at the game, and I'd give up. But that was Goner. We've got another 2D platformer called Metrico Plus. Now this, again, is completely different. Never seen it before. Something way out there. It kind of makes you think about everything. It's a world of infographics, the way they put it. Across sort of the world, there's different challenges, and you have to solve them using, you know, sort of basic tools. You're running and you're jumping, but everything's sort of got a percentage or an axis or, you know, numbers associated to it, and the things that you do affect these objects, and that's how you complete the challenges. For example, here, you know, jumping to raise one rock to get it out of the way, and then running to get under it. It's very different, but I tell you what, it is stylish. Like, this game looks lovely. It's very minimalist, but the color system it looks fantastic. It's so simple, but just works so well, which is great to see. They don't have to go over the top and really, you know, try and change everything to make a challenging out there game. It reminds me quite a lot of Braid. The old sort of game on the 360 where, if you sort of ran to the left, it would reverse time. You ran to the right, it would speed up time, and that's how you had to work out the challenges. It reminds me a lot of that. I was really bad at Braid, shocking, I know, but this one really caught my attention. I was finding myself just carrying on and on and on, just because I could, and I really enjoyed it. So this is Metrico Plus. And again, like I said, these are all in last month's bundle, so they're not available as the bundle anymore, unfortunately. And I know it looks like there's a pattern of a lot of 2D side scrollers, but it is completely different every month. You usually get one or two sort of AAA titles, and the rest are a mix of indie games and just other ones off Steam. One of the months I had Total War Warhammer. One of the other ones was The Witness, and then again, completely random selection of smaller indie games. But I have subscribed monthly to this, just because I want to try new games and get more of a depth to my Steam library, basically, and use it for YouTube, obviously. I'm also going to mention, I probably should mention at the beginning, this is not sponsored. Humble have no idea I'm doing this. They are not paying me for any of this. I'm just giving you my opinion of what I think is a great service and something you should probably look into. If you want to sponsor me, by all means, you go to my links, chat me up on Twitter, whatever. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this every month for every bundle and show you what you get, show you what it's about, and if you want to just go and buy the games individually, then go do that, because some of these indie guys would love the support, and this sort of system gets the games out there where you wouldn't find them on Steam. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's given you a little bit of insight into Humble Bundle, how it works, and maybe you've seen a game or two that you like and that maybe you want to try out. Check them out. Go to the Humble Bundle store or go to Steam as well. Either way, support these indie guys, because some of these games are fantastic, and like I said, you wouldn't have found them without these sort of services bringing them to you, because they wouldn't show up in a Steam search. But if you've enjoyed this, drop a like down below, leave a comment. What game stood out to you the most? What one do you reckon would be great? Have you played any of these games already? Let me know, and it'd be great to hear from some people. Also, as ever, subscribe. I'm going to be doing this every month, but there's other stuff. We've got Bully, Ark every now and again. Plenty of videos coming out as frequently as I can get them out. I'll make that point there. But I'm still enjoying doing this, and I hope you're enjoying watching it. So I'm Greg. This is the channel. This is the Humble Bundle for last month, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.